Have you ever wondered what would happen if the warnings about rising sea levels became reality? What if entire communities lost their land, their livelihoods, and eventually their way of life? Today's film explores exactly that possibility, creating a future that feels both distant and uncomfortably close. Set in a world transformed by environmental change, this story presents a haunting vision of survival. Vast areas of farmland have disappeared beneath the water, resources are scarce, and ordinary people struggle every day to secure food, clean water, and a sense of stability. Yet beneath its dystopian setting, the film is ultimately a deeply personal story about grief, love, and the search for truth. At the center of the narrative is Sao, a woman whose quiet life is shattered when her husband dies under suspicious circumstances. Authorities quickly present a convenient explanation, but something about the story doesn't add up. Refusing to accept the official version of events, Sao begins a difficult journey to uncover what really happened. What makes this film especially interesting is the way it combines multiple genres. On one level, it is a mystery about a suspicious death. On another, it is a social drama examining inequality and survival in a changing world. At the same time, it functions as a warning about environmental degradation and the consequences of unchecked climate change. As Sao investigates, she encounters powerful individuals, hidden secrets, and conflicting accounts of the past. Every answer seems to lead to more questions, forcing her to confront painful memories and difficult truths. The deeper she digs, the more dangerous her search becomes. The film doesn't rely on explosive action or spectacular visual effects to make its point. Instead, it builds tension through atmosphere, relationships, and the constant feeling that an entire society is slowly slipping beneath the surface. The flooded landscapes become more than a setting, they become a symbol of loss itself. One of the movie's greatest strengths is its world building. Rather than focusing on global politics or large-scale disasters, it shows how environmental change affects ordinary people. Families struggle to keep their ancestral land. Fishermen compete for dwindling resources. Communities that once relied on agriculture must adapt to entirely new ways of living. These details make the future feel believable and grounded. Sao's emotional journey forms the heart of the story. Her determination to discover the truth about her husband transforms her from a grieving widow into someone willing to challenge powerful interests. The investigation is not simply about solving a mystery, it is also about preserving memory and finding meaning after loss. Another fascinating aspect of the film is its portrayal of power. Large organizations control valuable resources while ordinary citizens are left with fewer and fewer options. This imbalance creates tension throughout the story and raises questions about who benefits during times of crisis. The movie suggests that environmental disasters do not affect everyone equally and that vulnerable communities often bear the greatest burden. The character of Jung plays an important role in this exploration of power and morality. His connection to both Sao's past and present creates emotional complexity that extends beyond a simple conflict between hero and villain. The film repeatedly challenges viewers to consider how ambition, survival, and personal choices can reshape relationships over time. Visually, the flooded environment contributes enormously to the film's atmosphere. Water is present everywhere, serving as both a source of life and a symbol of destruction. It provides food and transportation, yet it has also swallowed homes, fields, and traditions. This duality gives the setting a unique emotional weight. The movie also spends considerable time exploring memory and attachment. Many characters remain connected to places that no longer provide security or prosperity. They cling to family land traditions and personal histories even as circumstances force them to adapt. This struggle between preserving the past and accepting change becomes one of the film's central themes. As the mystery develops, Sao gradually pieces together information that challenges the official narrative surrounding her husband's death. The investigation reveals hidden connections and forces her to confront uncomfortable realities. Rather than offering simple answers, the story emphasizes the difficulty of discovering truth in a world shaped by fear, power, and desperation. Imagine a future where the greatest threat to humanity isn't war, technology, or economic collapse, but water. Not the lack of it, but too much of it. Entire regions have been swallowed by rising seas, fertile farmland has disappeared beneath the waves, and communities that once thrived now struggle simply to survive. In this haunting vision of the future, people are forced to adapt to a world where every resource is precious and every decision can mean the difference between survival and disaster. The film explores this future through a deeply personal story centered on Sao, a woman whose life has already been shaped by loss. Living in a community transformed by environmental catastrophe, she is suddenly confronted with an even greater tragedy when her husband dies under suspicious circumstances. Authorities quickly declare the case closed, offering a convenient explanation that few people are willing to challenge. But Sao cannot accept what she's being told. As she searches for answers, she uncovers a web of secrets connected to powerful interests, scientific research, and a society desperately trying to adapt to a changing world. Her investigation gradually reveals that her husband's death may have been linked to something much larger than anyone initially imagined. One of the film's most fascinating elements is its approach to environmental collapse. Instead of focusing on spectacular disasters, the story shows the everyday consequences of climate change. People struggle to find fresh water. Traditional farming becomes impossible. Families are forced to abandon ancestral land. The future presented here feels believable because it is built from small, realistic changes that gradually reshape society. The movie also explores the tension between science and ethics. Researchers are searching for ways to help crops survive in increasingly salty environments. Their goal is practical and potentially beneficial, but the pursuit of progress creates new conflicts. Questions emerge about who controls scientific discoveries, who profits from them, and what sacrifices are considered acceptable in the name of innovation. At the center of these conflicts is a scientist named Jung. His relationship with Sao becomes one of the story's most important emotional threads. Years earlier, the two shared a meaningful connection, but life ultimately led them down different paths. Now circumstances force them back into each other's lives under far more complicated conditions. The film uses this relationship to explore the contrast between idealism and reality. Zhang believes scientific advancement can solve major environmental problems. Cao, however, has witnessed the human cost of decisions made by people in power. Their interactions constantly challenge both perspectives, creating emotional complexity that goes beyond a simple conflict between heroes and villains. Another strength of the film is its atmosphere. The flooded landscapes feel both beautiful and unsettling. Water surrounds nearly every aspect of daily life, serving as a reminder that nature has fundamentally altered the rules of society. Communities have adapted, but adaptation has come at a significant cost. As Cao continues her search for the truth, she discovers that the official story surrounding her husband's death contains serious inconsistencies. Different witnesses provide conflicting accounts. Rumors circulate about secret projects and hidden motives. The deeper she investigates, the more dangerous her situation becomes. The story gradually reveals that powerful organizations have become increasingly influential in this new world. Resources are scarce, and those who control food production and water supplies hold enormous power. The movie suggests that environmental crises often create opportunities for exploitation, especially when desperate people have few alternatives. At the same time, the film refuses to present its characters in purely black and white terms. Many individuals are motivated by survival rather than greed. Others genuinely believe they are working toward solutions that could benefit future generations. This moral ambiguity adds depth to the narrative and encourages viewers to think critically about the choices being made. One particularly compelling theme is the idea that good intentions do not always produce good outcomes. Scientific discoveries capable of helping millions can also become tools for control. Innovations designed to solve one problem may create entirely new ones. The movie repeatedly asks whether humanity can adapt to environmental challenges without sacrificing its values in the process. The emotional core of the story remains Cao's determination to understand what happened to her husband. Her journey is driven not by revenge alone, but by a desire for truth. She refuses to let his death become another forgotten tragedy in a world already overwhelmed by hardship. As the narrative progresses, the personal and political dimensions of the story become increasingly intertwined. The mystery surrounding her husband is connected to broader questions about environmental adaptation, scientific responsibility, and corporate influence. Every revelation pushes the story beyond a simple investigation and toward a larger examination of society itself. The film also spends considerable time exploring memory and belonging. Characters cling to places that no longer resemble the homes they once knew. They hold on to traditions even as their environment changes around them. This tension between preserving the past and embracing the future becomes one of the movie's most powerful themes. By the final act, the story builds toward a confrontation not only between individuals but between competing visions of the future. Some characters believe technological innovation is the answer. Others fear that unchecked ambition will only create new forms of inequality and suffering. The film does not offer easy answers, which makes its conclusion more thought-provoking. Rather than focusing solely on who is right or wrong, the ending encourages viewers to consider the complexity of real-world challenges. Climate change, resource scarcity, and scientific advancement are not issues with simple solutions. They involve difficult choices, conflicting priorities, and unintended consequences. What makes the movie memorable is its ability to combine intimate human drama with large-scale social concerns. The mystery keeps the audience engaged, but the themes give the story lasting significance. Long after the credits roll, viewers are left thinking about the world depicted on screen and how closely it resembles concerns that already exist today. Ultimately, this is a film about adaptation in every sense of the word. Communities adapt to environmental change. Scientists adapt their research to new challenges. Individuals adapt to loss, disappointment, and uncertainty. Through Cao's journey, the movie reminds us that survival is not only about enduring difficult circumstances but also about deciding what values are worth protecting when everything else is changing. The result is a thoughtful and emotionally resonant science fiction drama that uses a future setting to explore very contemporary questions. It is a story about truth, responsibility, and resilience wrapped inside a mystery that gradually reveals the hidden costs of progress. Whether viewed as a cautionary tale, a character study, or an environmental drama, the film offers plenty to discuss and leaves a lasting impression on anyone willing to immerse themselves in its world. If you enjoy watching this video, then subscribe to Angel Recaps for the latest movies explanation.